Hi Scorpio, happy birthday and welcome back to the Astrology 33 channel. This is your November 2020 tarot reading. Thank you to those of you who've liked, viewed, shared, subscribed, and donated to the channel. I appreciate all of that. As far as personal readings go, I decided I'm probably not going to bring those back till next year sometime, so just wanted to get that out of the way. As far as what we have in front of us, it's a Celtic Cross spread as always, and I also pulled some Oracle cards and a Mudra card for you guys. So we'll get started with the main spread. The main situation position, we have the Empress. So this usually for me points more to Taurus energy, but it's Venus energy either way. And for a good part of the month of November, you guys are going to have Venus moving through your 12th house. So I could just be saying that you guys are just really relaxing, taking some time off, kind of going with the flow, letting things come to you on one end. But this could also just be saying that your focus might be on relationships, possibly on finances too, since, if we think about Venus ruling the second house, that's finances. So you could be thinking about finances as well. But I feel like this is just saying that this is more your energy that you're going to be feeling for a good part of November. Just more reflective, introspective, which, we wouldn't normally expect with your birthday season. But between the fact that we're going to have that Mercury retrograde energy, technically it ends early in November, but you still have the shadow period. And then obviously that's going to be Mercury coming back into your sign. And then, like we said, Venus in your 12th house most of the month. That's probably going to be the vibe that you're going to be in for a lot of the time. In the challenge or obstacle position, we have the Seven of Pentacles. So, to me, this could just be saying that you're really reflecting on a relationship and maybe trying to figure out if you want to continue it any further. The reason I say relationship is this is Taurus energy, which again points to your opposite sign. So you could just be thinking about a relationship you've been in and seeing, considering, all right, is it worth investing into this anymore? Or, possibly thinking about calling it quits, which is another thing you could be thinking about with retrograde energy too, obviously. So that's not too surprising there. And for finances, some of you could just be reflecting on finances too. And for this to come up in a challenge position, could just be saying that, you might be tempted to relax a little bit too early on in the game where there might still be some more work to be done. So could go that way for some of you, but for a lot of you, I feel like this is more you guys just evaluating a relationship. And the reason I say that is especially because in the foundation position, we have the 10 of Cups, which is Pisces energy, the Moon, the Hierophant, which is Taurus energy again, so your opposite sign, and then the Eight of Cups again, which is more Pisces energy. So kind of weird energy, but in a way it almost comes out. This is what I'm feeling with it. Let me just say it this way. So for you guys, Pisces is your 5th house of romance, creativity. So with this, the 10 of Cups, that could just be saying that, this is your romantic, idealized vision of a connection, right? Then with the Moon, this could just be indicating that, it might be that you're just not necessarily seeing the connection clearly. So, this could be like the idealized vision that you might have of the connection, or possibly just connections in general. Like we said, given that your 5th house is ruled by that Pisces Neptune energy. Then we see the Moon. And now here we see Taurus energy, which is the 7th house. So, you make that jump from the 5th house to the 7th house, which is more of the committed long-term relationship, right? Sometimes marriage. And to me, it seems like it could be one of two things. Could just be saying that you guys, have that idealized vision. So when it's time to actually put in that work to get to this level, you guys might, have a little bit of difficulty doing so. And you might end up leaving connections behind when you get to that point. Again, because, you have that idealized vision going in, and then when it's like, oh, okay, there's actually work to be put in, right? Like if we just think of the zodiac wheel, for example, 5th house, like we said, romance, creativity. 7th house is the partnership relationship. And what's in between those two is the 6th house, which is work, routine, right? Establishing habits. So that could be the sticking point for you guys. And especially since you guys have had Mars retrograde in your 6th house too, it could have just been emphasizing that energy for you guys where, you might have been realizing that could be a pattern for some of you. And then, of course, I do have to say for others of you, it could be a different theme where, you have this relationship with someone and maybe you enjoy it, quite frankly, but then you're looking at it like, okay, well, can I see myself going further with this person, right? Can I see myself moving out of that fifth house, okay, we're casually dating or whatever, to that seventh house, okay, we're going to be, in a long term committed relationship. And, you might come to that realization that you don't see it progressing to that next level, and that could be the reason why you walk away. So, could be either of those two things, but we'll see what it is as we go a little bit further in the reading. All right, in the past position, we have the star. So this is Aquarius energy here. And for you guys, that is your fourth house, home and family. So this could just be saying, you might have been going back to your roots for a while in the past. Usually this is, of course, the card that naturally comes after the Tower card. So some of you might have had a Tower moment not too long ago. And this could just be saying that this was you recovering from that, just getting reconnected with yourself, getting back on the right path. Trying to see if anything else comes to mind with this, but I think that's about it. For some of you, this could have even been something that took place for you during Virgo season too, since, for you guys, Virgo is your 11th house. So it might have been when you were getting in touch with this energy. All right, in the present position, we have the 10 of Wands. So for some of you, this could be what it is too. Like maybe you have felt like you're putting in all the work in a situation, and that could be why you're reconsidering things and wanting to be in that Empress energy, right? Like, okay, I've paid my dues around whatever situation this is. I want to take some time to relax now. So could this be what's going on there? This is Sagittarius energy too, which is related to finances. So some of you guys might have just had a financial goal in mind and you really might have been pushing yourselves hard to get there. That's the case, just always be careful of burnout, especially because at the bottom of the deck we do see the Five of Pentacles. And, sometimes this is referred to quite often as the being left out in the cold card, which that can represent that. But also to me, I also call it the in sickness and health energy. And not only that, but then also obviously if we just look at the potential for physical illness too. So just be careful around that if you guys are pushing yourselves too hard. But yeah, with this here, it looks like it's just saying that you definitely have a goal in mind. You're probably close to it, but there might be better ways that you could go about getting there. Let's put it that way. In case you can't tell, Mercury retrograde is already starting to get to me. But yeah, hopefully that made sense. All right. In the near future position, we have the Seven of Swords. So again, more Aquarius energy, but we see a much more negative manifestation of that. And I'm pretty sure that you guys had this card in this exact same position last month as well. Kind of weird. Nothing else here really rings a bell to me from the last reading, but I'm pretty sure that this was definitely there and in that exact spot. So that's interesting. And for some of you, it can be the same thing. So watch out for that potential to self-sabotage something. But I do have to say it can be someone in your environment, looking at the two cards and your influence and the environment's influence. So definitely be mindful of that too. Maybe just try to cleanse your energy, maybe just sage your area wherever you're at and carry a protection stone around with you or something like that. Because for this to be coming up in that same spot again, 2 months in a row, something's not quite right in the environment. Like I said, keep in mind, if it's you, with the Mercury retrograde energy coming up, that might actually come out as well. Try to see if anything else comes to mind with this. But, basically what I had said last month about this is the vibe that I get with this card sometimes is that it would be someone who tells part of the story, so they have all the information, but they only give you certain parts of the story and then, let you draw your own conclusions, and deliberately so. So kind of someone who might stir the pot in some way for whatever reason they might have for doing so. But on the flip side of that, if it is your energy, the way I would say this could play out is possibly jumping to conclusions, where you only have part of the story and then you draw your own conclusions from that. And that could be a little bit dangerous too, especially like we said with the Mercury retrograde energy and the fact that it'll be in your 12th house for a while, so be on the lookout for that. All right. Your influence on the situation, we have the Lovers. So I do have to say, given that this card is coming up in your position, I feel like it's probably a little bit more likely that it would be someone in your environment that's doing something like that rather than you, because I just see this as obviously a light energy. And also, this could also just be pointing to things being worked out behind the scenes on your behalf, which would make sense in the sense as far as, like we said, we're going to have Venus moving through your 12th house for a pretty good chunk of November. So that could be what that's pointing to. And then, like we said, the Mercury retrograde, it's going to start in your sign, and it's going to move into Libra, and then it's going to, obviously, when it starts moving forward again, it'll end up back in your sign around the middle of the month. So that could be what that's pointing to there. Maybe if there was something not up to snuff in your environment, it might actually come to light this month, and that might actually help lighten your energy a lot. And in the environment position, we have the Devil. So, these are very similar energies in one hand, but opposites, Like this reduces to a 6 as well, just like this. So, could just be saying that there's a big imbalance in a connection, where you, for example, might bring all of the positivity to the connection, and another person might bring all the negativity. You know what I mean? So it's like, yeah, there's a balance, but it's not ideal because, it's like a forced balance in that regard, just because you're like polar opposites. But what this could just be saying too, though, I do have to say, given that this is Capricorn energy, which for you guys is your house of communication, and seeing that 7 of Swords there, keep in mind that what is and is not communicated are both going to have karmic weight to them. You guys also have Pluto in that house, obviously Jupiter, so there's all kinds of stuff going on in your 3rd house of communication. But in particular, especially since Saturn's coming toward the end of its transit through your 3rd house communication, I feel like this is saying that, again, so if it's you who's being a bit deceptive around communication, like I said, even if it's like self-sabotage or drawing your own conclusions when only having part of the information or deliberately leaving information out, right? Any of those scenarios, you got to be mindful of that and watch out for that with this energy popping up here. And like I said, the fact that Saturn's wrapping up those last degrees in your house communication. And on the flip side, if it's someone that's doing that to you, keep in mind that that's, again, like we said, that's a karmic energy to where it might work out in your favor. So if there's been someone who's been a bit deceptive with their communication around you, look for that to come to light this month as well. So that would be the positive side of how those retrogrades can work. They could bring things to the surface that might have been hidden, especially when they're going through your 12th. All right, in the hopes or fears position, we have the 8 of Wands. So to me, this is just saying that you want that steady forward movement, because, obviously, both of these cards are Sagittarius energy, which, again, like I said, for you guys is your 2nd house of finances. But this one, obviously, we could see the movement looks a lot more easygoing as opposed to this one where, the guy's carrying these 10 wands and can't even really see where he's going, so I feel like this is just saying that you want to feel like your energy is lightened. So maybe your energy has felt really heavy lately, and like I said, it could be because of some deception in your environment. So try to cleanse your energy if you can in some way. That might help if it is someone external to you, and again, like I said, if it's some kind of a subconscious habit you guys have where you might self-sabotage things, that might come to light as well for you guys to work it out. But either way, like I said, seeing that you guys are in this light energy here, it looks like it will work out in your favor. But, also I should point out too, now that I'm thinking about it, with this 5 of Pentacles here, this represents the first 10 degrees of Taurus, and obviously we see other Taurus energies in the spread already. But at the very end of October, on Halloween, I believe, there's going to be that full moon in Taurus, and it's going to be in these degrees pretty much of Taurus. So keep an eye out for that. It's going to be conjunct Uranus, so that's going to be a pretty intense full moon, quite frankly. So, maybe that'll bring some things to light that you might not have expected. So just be on the lookout for that. And in the outcome position, we have the High Priestess. So I'm feeling like this is a much better energy for you guys to be in versus the Empress energy for some reason. So, I feel like this is you just being really in tune with your intuition. I always point out how that it looks like she has her foot on that moon, which to me represents just having a firm grasp over your emotions, having them out in the forefront, being well aware of them, but also being in full control of them too. So I just feel like this might be a better energy for you guys to be in versus the Empress energy. And then, like I said, this could just be strictly a fact of you have all that 12th house energy going on for you guys, which isn't always typical for someone to have for their birthday season. But like I said, between the fact that, the Mercury retrograde starting up now pretty much when I'm recording this, and then we're going to have, it's going to go into Libra, which is your 12th house. And as it starts to move forward, it'll take around the middle of the month until it gets into your sign. And then, like I said, Venus is going to be in your 12th house for a good chunk of the month too. So that could help bring out this energy for you guys. But yeah, maybe this will be after you, like I said, if you guys do cleanse your energy, that might be what helps put you in this position as well. Try and think if anything else comes to mind with this. Not really. But yeah, definitely trust your intuition this month. All right, and moving on to the oracle cards. First, we have Deep Knowing. There's the artwork, and the number is 43. All right, it says intuition, listening to the oracle within, empathy, hypersensitivity. The oracle's message. Intuition is the faculty that allows you to enter into a dialogue with Source, the consciousness that you are a part of but cannot see with the naked eye. It's perplexing that people are taught to ignore this natural capacity to navigate their journeys, to access their inner guidance. Know that you have an ability to read between the lines and find all the truth that was missing when the story was told. This deep knowing allows you to open the door to wisdom far greater than what is available in the limitations of human experience. You are given information that may make no sense whatsoever to the logical mind or five senses, but which is 100% correct and true. The trick is to listen and then to act accordingly. You're now invited into the sacred dialogue of deep knowing. So tune in and trust your vibes, they will be right. Ask and you will receive answers from unusual sources. So yeah, this definitely looks like a clear connection to the High Priestess energy. So it looks like you guys are going to end up in that energy regardless anyway. And interestingly enough, this reduces down to a 7, which we do see that 7 of Swords there too. So like I said, whether it's you guys who in some way might be getting in your own way with some kind of self-sabotage, or if this is someone in your environment, looks like you'll figure it out either way this month, which is good. All right, and the relationship message says there are occasions when you just know, deep in your heart and soul, that a person is going to play a meaningful role in your life. Someone crosses your path, and suddenly, out of the blue, you're connected at a level impossible to describe. That feeling marks a moment in time etched indelibly onto your soul. Someone is entered your life who will be instrumental in your journey, so pay attention. Two hearts are calling to each other to begin an alchemical process. This is also a sign that your intuition about the person you care about is correct. Trust your heart to lead you now. Magic is about to happen. So definitely a pretty positive message there. Hopefully that resonated with you guys. And then the prosperity message says this is a time when your hunches will pay large dividends. If you listen to them, take the risk and act. Within you there is an oracular consciousness, a higher and deeper knowing that transcends the machinations of the smaller thinking mind. At the deep level of your intuitive senses, you have an access point to the genius of the collective. The energies of all thinkers and creators, all inventors and leaders, and all that you need in order to leap into success are available to tune into. This is an act of listening intently. Past the busy mind, your genius awaits. So definitely a pretty positive message there too, and again referring to the intuitive senses and everything. So looks like that High Priestess energy is definitely going to benefit you guys this month. Alright, so the next card we have is Mouse Spirit. And it says, tend to the small things. Alright, well, it won't focus, but there's the artwork, and the number is 40. So let's see what that has to say. Okay. It says, the humble mouse pays attention to the smallest details, and Mouse Spirit calls on you to notice the nuances in the fine print at this time. In your eagerness to meet your goals and pursue your dreams, it is easy to forget the importance of clear communication and tending to the little things, including people's subtle signs that they are unhappy, as well as the small voice inside you that says, this doesn't feel right. Take your time to sniff out what you need to know. Is there some detail or nuance about how you engage others or operate in the world that is the key to your success, but you've too readily dismissed as nothing big or nothing special? Mouse Spirit reminds you that what seems small may be more important and powerful than you think, so look again. Do not underestimate yourself or your potential for co-creating something amazing when you pay attention to the details. So definitely a pretty good message there too. And I will say, again, I feel like that's that contrast between that Empress energy versus the High Priestess. So it definitely looks like that's going to be a better energy for you guys to be focused in this month. And then also the Lovers, like I said, we see the bright energy with that card. So it could just be saying that things will come to light for you guys in that regard too. So hopefully that resonated. And then the second card came up from that deck. And it's Koala Spirit. It says, Spirit has a plan. There's the artwork, and the number's 35. So let's see. This is crazy. I'm going to flip into the exact pages in these books today. All right. Oracle message says, in nature, the koala moves slowly through the branches of the eucalyptus tree, leisurely chewing the leaves, reminding us that life is not a race or a competition. Chasing around after every distraction can keep us from recognizing that we have all we need and that Spirit will always be there with gifts to sustain us. You are being asked to trust that by moving slowly, with faith in the abundance that is everywhere, surrendering to a power greater than yourself, you will be able to experience the manifestation of your desire. As you take your time enjoying the riches available to you right now, sitting peacefully, you begin to radiate the joy and abundance you seek. Spirit is here to help you discover happiness, pleasure, and contentment, all gifts that are yours now and in the future. Have faith and trust in Spirit's plan for you, and know that you are loved and cherished. So, interesting message there, because to me that actually made me think a little bit more of the actual Empress energy, which is to say that maybe to get in the energy of enjoying what you do have, as opposed to with that Seven of Pentacles energy, just thinking about how much more you have to go to get to where you want to be, right? So could just be saying by staying in that energy of actually being appreciative of what you do have currently, that'll let more things flow to you, and then, we'll see more of that High Priestess energy in that regard too. But hopefully that resonated. And then finally we have a Mudra card, so this is the card you got. It's the Kubera Mudra. There it is there, and the keyword for it is abundance. All right. There's the info on it if you want to pause it or take a screenshot. But under benefits, it says clears the frontal sinuses and helps to balance left and right nostrils, improves sense of smell, sharpens inner vision and ability to more clearly see your path in life, helps create abundance, especially related to virtuous desires that take into consideration the welfare of all beings. So this one kind of gives off that High Priestess vibe too. So like I said, hopefully Venus moving through your 12th, and like we said, the Mercury retrograde, hopefully that'll help you get into that intuitive energy and help things come to light for you guys. But we'll wrap up there. Once again, happy birthday. I'll see you guys next month. All right, bye.